uma das melhores músicas do mundo. One of the best musics of the world.
Breakfast Jazz. Sábados y domingos, 7 de la mañana.
Breakfast Jazz.
Breakfast Jazz, todos los sábados y los domingos, 7 de la mañana.
Only at BT Radio Universal.
L is for the way you look at me.
You're listening to Podsitive Vibes with Shane Nikolic, making positivity and gratitude louder in a podcast world. Podsitive Vibes with Shane Nikolic. Good morning and welcome to this week's episode of Podsitive Vibes, making positivity and gratitude louder in a podcast world. And this morning I need the positive. I'm grateful, but I need the positivity and need healing vibes, I guess, because I got the second dose of the Moderna vaccine yesterday morning, and even though I didn't feel anything yesterday so far as side effects, this morning I woke up and I'm just hurting and just sore and tired. So yeah, that's where that is. But the show must go on no matter what, and I made it here to the station, so here we go. And this morning I don't have a guest lined up, but I was thinking about it, and I was scrolling through my social media here this morning, and on Facebook a memory popped up for today. Just a sec here, let me bring it up. I'll try and here it is. This memory of the Skagit Flats Marathon that I ran up in Burlington a couple years ago came up. Actually, let's see, that was, I don't know, I forget, this says 2020, but it was like 2018, I think. But at any rate, the lady you see with me in that picture there, is my Instagram friend, Courtney the Bunny, and I met her on Instagram, and she happened to be flying out here and running that race, so we started out together, but she's much faster, took off, and that was awesome. And then there's this one. This one is amazing. I was a few miles from the finish line, probably like 5 to 7 miles out, and the local sheriff's deputies that were volunteering out on the course that day, helping keep everything going right, and to help anyone if they got hurt on the course or whatever. I happened to, just greet this guy as I'm running past him, and hey, how's it going? He asked me how I'm doing. I'm like, yeah, doing great, just crushing it, 1 mile at a time, crushing my MS 1 mile at a time. And he was just like, wow, you have multiple sclerosis, and you're out here, and you're like just a few miles from the end of this marathon, the end of the finish line. And I'm like, yeah, just, I've done races before, but, to just keep on doing them. And at any rate, he was just amazed and, proud of me that I was out there doing that. And, dragging, like I often say, dragging my MS behind me, just like, get in, we're going. But at any rate, I was just amazed the last and it's like a couple miles before the finish line. Tears started coming to my eyes because here I was just running along, and these sheriff's deputies, gave me a police escort to the finish line of this marathon. It was awesome. Just rode into the stadium and crossed the finish line with me. It was phenomenal. I don't know. In looking back, it was probably on one hand, they were probably about done and about to head back anyway. But hey, it was still super cool to get that police escort the last few miles, and they just crept right along with me. But that was just an awesome memory that came up on my Facebook today, and so I figured I'd share it. Let me see. There was something else I wanted to say. Today, May 30th, is World MS Day, and it's just a day to I'm aware of it every day, and probably help promote MS awareness every day just by telling people I got it. But let's see here. I want to make sure I get this, I word this right. Let me find the website. Bear with me here. I had it open and then it disappeared. Let's see. World MS Day. And if you want to go to the website, it's World MS Day, one word, worldmsday.org, O-R-G. Anyway, on the website, on World MS Day website, it says, a day to celebrate global solidarity and hope for the future. World MS Day takes place on the 30th of May every year. Share stories, raise awareness, and campaign. Share stories, raise awareness, and campaign with everyone affected by MS. And it's like, there's it's like MS, multiple sclerosis, is I've heard it called the snowflake disease. No two people have it the same. It's like, maybe we have, people have the same sorts of symptoms, but in varying degrees, and there's different stages of the disease. Like, I'm at the very beginning stage of the disease, relapsing or remitting MS. And, they've classified or found new stages of MS. Like there's, let me turn this down so it doesn't, I thought I already did, but I guess I was wrong. There's different stages. Yeah, they've classified different stages, but so far as I can recall, actually better yet, I'm just going to find it on here. Let's see. Like I said, I'm at the very beginning stages of relapsing or remitting MS, which is the first stage. And my MS, I'm very grateful and very lucky, or whatever, that my disease has not progressed. It's still, at the beginning. There's relapsing remitting multiple sclerosis, and like it says here, most people with MS, around 85%, have this type. I'll just read a little bit of this since, it's World MS Day and I'm just trying to raise awareness here. They usually have their first signs of the disease in their early 20s. After that, they have attacks of symptoms called relapses from time to time, followed by weeks, months, or years of recovery, called remissions. The nerves that are affected, however, how severe attacks are, the degree of recovery, and the time between relapses all vary widely from person to person. Eventually, most people with relapse-remitting MS will move on to a secondary progressive phase of MS. And it's like the secondary progressive phase of MS, in this type, symptoms begin a steady march without relapses or remissions. In this way, it's like primary progressive MS. The change typically happens between 10 and 20 years after you're diagnosed with relapse and remitting MS. It's unclear why the disease makes this shift, but scientists know a few things about the process. The older a person is when they are first diagnosed, the shorter the time they have before the disease becomes secondary progressive. People who don't fully recover from relapses generally move to secondary progressive MS sooner than those who do. The process of ongoing nerve damage changes. After the transformation, there's less inflammation and more of a slow decline in how well the nerves work. And it's okay. I just on a side note, how I've heard it described, and it makes the most sense to me, is like picture the wiring going through your house. That's a person with MS, or any person, that's your nerves going through your body. A person with MS, for some reason, we get this inflammation on the nerves, like my lesions are on my brain. I have like 15 or 16 little lesions on my brain, maybe a few more, I don't know, but I think she said 15. But yeah, at any rate, it's like the wiring going through your house. You get the plastic coating or rubber coating or whatever over the wire gets frayed or torn apart, or maybe a mouse eats into it. Well, then that spot where that coating is off there can be affected, and the electricity going through the wiring can stop right there, and possibly cause a fire. The power could stop right there. At any rate, the nerves in a person's body with multiple sclerosis, the disease, it's an autoimmune disease. So our immune system attacks those nerves for some reason and creates that inflammation. It's basically like wears away the coating on the wiring, wears away the myelin, the coating, the sheath over the nerve, and creates inflammation right there, which can in turn, affect a person's abilities to think, move their body, anything the human body is capable of, it will affect it. And, MS is capable of affecting it. Secondary progressive MS is tough to treat, and the disease can be hard to handle day to day. Symptoms get worse at a different rate for each person. Treatments work moderately well, but most people will have trouble using their body like they used to, and this is with secondary progressive MS. Primary progressive MS. In primary progressive multiple sclerosis, the disease gradually gets worse over time, just a steady decline. There are no well-defined attacks of symptoms, and there is little or no remissions. In addition, MS treatments don't work as well with this type of MS. About 10% of people with MS have this type. Although there is constant research being done, like up at for instance, Swedish MS Center in Seattle, where I used to go and see my MS specialist. I was in a research trial up there, and I do know they conduct research trials up there, trying to find out more about this disease, so that we can possibly, come up with more treatments and or ultimately a cure, so that, we don't have to worry about coming up with treatments. A few things make it different from other types of MS. People with primary progressive MS are usually older when they're diagnosed, an average age of 40. Roughly equal numbers of men and women get it. In other types of the disease, women outnumber men 3-1. It usually leads to disability earlier than the most common type, relapsing remitting MS. You may have heard primary progressive MS referred to as progressive relapsing MS, but this terminology is no longer used. Okay. Here we go. This is like, what causes MS? No one knows. Tantalizing clues have sparked research in many areas, but there are no definite answers. Some theories include geography. People in colder parts of the world get MS more than those in the warmer parts. Researchers are looking into how vitamin D and sunlight might protect against the disease. And personally, I'd like to research this myself and actually go into it proactively. And what I'm reading here is off of the WebMD website, and but this is not off the National MS Society's website. This is not off the WebMD's website. This is purely of my own research and what I've seen and heard. But it's like I just read there about geography and it being a fact that statistical fact that people in colder climates get MS more than people in warmer climates. And I've seen world maps of the incidence rates of MS, or incident rate of MS, and at any rate, along our latitude on the world, it's like, 47 degrees or something. Along our latitude line, around the entire world, is where the highest some, or at least most that I've seen anyway, most of the highest populations of people with MS live on our latitude. It's like here, Vermont, Scotland had a high number, and there was like a country or two in Europe. And at any rate, they're, like I just said they're looking into how vitamin D and sunlight might protect against the disease. And anyway, my personal theory, I've also noticed, found online, I don't know whether it's hearsay or what, maybe people are just saying this so they can sell stuff. But I've heard that, or I've found online that they're saying that magnetic bracelets and magnetic mattresses and other forms of magnetism help with MS symptoms and the disease in general. So, at any rate, I'd like to look into that, because our latitude lines are not just about sunlight and vitamin D. Latitude lines are the Earth's, basically lines on the Earth, but it's like the Earth's the Earth's polarity, gravity is, varies. It's like you got the two poles here. I don't know. You got the two poles, one at the top, one at the bottom, and then you got these latitude lines. And I'm wondering if the magnetic pole is different at the different latitude lines. Anyway, I'm going to look into that, and I will report. I see I have no comments shutting me down yet, so on my theory there. But at any rate, I think it holds ground, and we'll find out. I'm surprised I haven't gotten to it by now. Came up with that theory years ago. Okay, and it says smoking. Tobacco may raise the risk slightly, but it's not the whole story. So far as that goes, my own story with smoking, I smoked from the age of 12 until the age of 38. Yes, I started smoking at 12, and it's like anyway. I wish I wouldn't have, but I did, and so that's that. And I don't smoke now, so that's a bonus, right? I quit. My last cigarette was October 3rd, 2013. And I immediately switched to vaping, and did that for like a year and a half, and quit that. And anyway, once I quit smoking, I felt way better. And then I quit vaping, quit taking in nicotine at all. And I feel phenomenal, it's like, heck, that next year I got into biking, the next year I got into hiking, and the next year I started running, and here I am still running. And it's like a year after I started running every day, and I'm still running every day. And it's like, if I was still smoking, I wouldn't be running at all. So yeah, there we go. Okay, moving on. The next theory or whatever says genetics. Genes do play a role. If an identical twin has MS, the other twin has a 20% to 40% chance of getting it. Siblings have a 3% to 5% chance if a brother or sister has it. And we're not talking about we're just talking about genes there. We're not. And at any rate, I have MS, and I have like 2 or 3 other people, maybe more, in my family that have multiple sclerosis. It seems like they're more. None of my immediate family has multiple sclerosis. Just a distant cousin, distant cousin, and I think that's it. Just distant cousins, a few of them that have it. So it's like sort of hit and miss. And there's more statistics I've read on different websites, but this one doesn't have them all, so I won't even go over them. And there's, and this is sort of ironic, but it says, what causes multiple sclerosis? Vaccines. Extensive research has essentially ruled out vaccines as a cause of MS. And I just like to throw out there that after my first dose of the Moderna vaccine, this is just my personal experience here, but after my first dose of the Moderna vaccine for the COVID COVID virus, I didn't really notice anything except the site reaction until the next day when I started running, and then my whole body started hurting. I just ran with it, and it subsided and went away. And by the end of the run, pretty much. Yesterday morning, I got my second dose of Moderna vaccine, and yesterday I was okay, and then last night, my left arm below where I got the injection started hurting on my bicep there, It got shot up in my shoulder and it started hurting on my bicep here, and it still does. Not as bad though. But this morning I woke up and my entire body hurts, and I just feel tired and drained, but I'm still here. Yeah. So, but it's like I'm not certain. I do want to point out that I'm not certain those are side effects of the vaccine or symptoms of my multiple sclerosis that were kicked up by the vaccine. So, I don't know. But it says here, extensive research has essentially ruled out vaccines as a cause of MS. So, the initial cause of the development of the disease. Another possible cause of MS is the Epstein-Barr virus or Epstein-Barr virus exposure. Some research has shown that people who develop MS have antibodies to the virus in their bodies. That means that they have been exposed to the virus. It has also shown that the risk of developing MS is higher in people who have been ill with the virus. Multiple sclerosis is probably an autoimmune disease. Like lupus or rheumatoid arthritis, the body creates antibodies against itself, causing damage. In MS, the damage occurs in the covering or myelin of nerves. And let's see. Not sure. The link isn't working there. Let me see. Okay, let's see here. Okay, just a sec. Let me see. Okay. Just as no. Let me see here. That's okay, but yeah, it's like different people have different symptoms differently. They may have the same types of symptoms, but at varying degrees due to the wearing away of the myelin sheath over their nerves, or the size or severity of the lesions on their brain or their spine. Myself, I have all my lesions around my brain. Now, it's like, and if your lesions are on your spine, then it can affect different parts of your body differently, more or less, either more or less severe depending on the place where it is on the spinal cord. And it's like and it's like I've had friends who've had MS, that, like, I have constant vertigo and have ever since the onset of my multiple sclerosis symptoms, which was after that car wreck back in 2006 that tripped it off. And say other people who have multiple sclerosis, I've talked to several or many people with, that have MS, and they, it's like they also have vertigo, but maybe it seems like everyone else I've talked to has it worse than me, or I've just adapted to it. It's like, and it seems like they, from the sounds of it, they have it worse than me, but I'm just throwing that out there that I've possibly adapted to it. I know I have, but maybe that's the reason there's other people seems worse. At any rate, I'm not trying to compare or anything. I'm just saying, that's my own experience as I see it. And like I was saying earlier, and this can happen in varying degrees or differently for everyone. But what am I trying to say? This can happen differently for everyone. But it's like and also according to the stage of MS that each person is at. Is that like the lesions on my brain? If by chance, for whatever reason, the MS lesions on my brain, one of them starts to get a little bigger or darker or take up more, just get bigger, I guess. It could possibly affect my brain differently, and therefore could take away an ability, take away my body's abilities, a little bit or one at a time or whatever. And, because it's like if that lesion goes into the speech area of the brain, then my speech would be affected. Maybe I'll start slurring my words, and maybe it'll cut me off and I won't be able to talk. And, or I'll start talking gibberish or something. I don't know. And it's like, maybe it would affect, maybe the lesion gets into the part of my brain, that controls my coordination, and, and so therefore I lose my coordination, possibly. If I was to get a lesion on my back, lesion on my spinal cord, then, or part of my brain that controls that, I'm not sure, I forget where it is, but, maybe I would lose my ability to walk, and that would suck because then I couldn't run. But this is why there's such urgency within the MS community to find a cure for the disease, because there are, I don't want to say a number, I'm just going to say millions because I know it's a lot, but there's lots and lots and lots and lots of people who have lost their ability to walk due to this disease. And if, when we get a cure, when they find a cure for MS, then, those people could walk again, give, a hope against hope, just, and, people like myself at the earlier stages of the disease wouldn't have to worry about, with a cure, we wouldn't have to worry about, possible later stages of the disease and, going downhill. It's like relapsing remitting MS. What I have is sort of like a roller coaster. Goes down with symptoms and comes back up into remission. Down with symptoms, back up into remission. With secondary progressive MS, it goes, you have a relapse of symptoms and then it levels out. And then you have a relapse of symptoms and then it levels out. And just keeps getting worse every time. You have a relapse of symptoms. And you people with MS don't recover. We don't recover from, if we lose, from what they say, from what I've heard and read, if you lose an ability, then, basically there's no healing MS. There's no getting that back. And what else was I going to say about that? I have a friend I had on the show here a couple weeks ago, Sherry Staten from down in Portland. She, I forget exactly what stage of MS she's at, but she has, she sometimes uses a walker, sometimes uses a scooter, sometimes goes without. It just depends on how she's feeling each day, and it's like, MS is just like that, you can wake up one day, I'm sure this is vaccine related, but it could be I've had this happen just because of my MS or maybe the treatments I was taking. But wake up some days and just feel like, oh man, I don't feel like doing a thing. My body's so sore and I'm tired and everything. And then there's some days where it's like, I just want to run around the world and, or at least run around Tacoma where I live. And, sort of a crapshoot like that. And that's another reason, that we all want to find a cure is so that we can, be rid of this disease and not have to worry about, maybe waking up tomorrow and just feeling tired, or maybe waking up tomorrow and being totally sore, or potentially waking up tomorrow and not being able to move our legs. That's potential for this disease. That's a possibility. That is one reason why I'm grateful every morning. I wake up and I just get out of bed, put on my shoes and go about, we'll get dressed and put on my shoes and go about my day, either going to work or running or whatever. And, it's like, MS, like I was reading earlier off of WebMD's website, they are constantly doing research on multiple sclerosis, trying to find a cure, find out more about the disease, see how exactly, it's like it's still out there. It remains a mystery. They're finding out more and more about it all the time, but there's still only so much they've been able to find out about it. And yeah, this being World MS Day, I was reading that this morning. Someone posted about it on social media that it's World MS Day today, and I had forgotten about that it is May 3rd, that today is May. I didn't connect it to May 30th, World MS Day, but I figured since it is, I'd make this show about World MS Day. I put out an open call for guests, and I put out an open call for guests on my show today. And actually, after I put out the call, I thought about that I should have gone ahead with my thought I had the other day and lined up someone or some people with multiple sclerosis to be on the show today. Maybe did a MS group Zoom call. But yeah, it's like they're, like I'm reminded here, looking at how MS can affect the brain. MS can, potentially affect one's cognitive abilities, affect their moods, affect, their way of thinking, affect their relationships, with anyone and everyone, family members, friends, the general public. It can affect maybe it can affect the way they move their arm. Maybe it affects a nerve to where they can't move their right arm anymore. Like when I fell out of the tree and when I was 11 and had the brain injury, my left side was paralyzed because the right side of my brain was damaged since I fell on the left, and the right side got it hit harder because it bounced back up and hit the side of my skull. Therefore, the right side controls the right side of your brain controls the left side of your body. So because of all the bruising on the right side of my brain, my left side was paralyzed. And, if I'm just theoretically, if a lesion on the brain affects that part of the brain that, maybe affects those nerves that run to your arm, maybe that arm will, be unable to use it, or it'll be weaker. At which point, I guess, I've heard of physical therapy helping with that, helping to, not help it not get any worse, at least, maybe build up some strength or what have you. But yeah, it's like my running. Ever since I started running. Well, okay, I'll back up. When I got back into hiking in, I think it was 2014, I got into hiking. No, 2014, I got into biking. Quit smoking 2013, 2014, I got into biking, or back into cycling, and trained for and rode Bike MS up in Mount Vernon, Washington. It was like 196 miles over 2 days. Yeah, I believe that was it. Could be wrong. My memory could be slipping on that one. Yes, I'm admitting that. At any rate, pretty sure it was 196 miles over 2 days. But at any rate, maybe it was 169. I don't know. I think it was, maybe it was 169. But at any rate, back to reality. It's like that year I got into biking and I felt a lot better. And, just being that level of high activity. The next year, 2015, I got into hiking and hiked a lot of or at least quite a few of the peaks around the area here. Mount Si, Little Si. Made it up to Camp Muir on Rainier for the first time that year. That was awesome. Had a fellow MSer, one of my friends who has MS. She had been up there before, so she came up along with a friend of the family, one of my dad's friends, and I hiked Mount Peak in Enumclaw. It's not that high comparatively to some of the other peaks I went up, but I did it like many times in 2015. Hiked up to the top of that and back down. Well, and I got to the point where I was like, okay, this is boring. So I'd hike up one side, I'd hike up the trail on the north side, and then down the trail on the south side, get to the bottom, and I'd hike back over. It's like, I don't know, approximately, I'm guessing, I'm trying to remember, but approximately 2 miles each way from one side to the other. It's going to the top, it's a mile. Going down to the other side, it's roughly a mile. So, yeah, it's like about 4 miles almost or whatever. But it's like with hiking that year, I got to feeling a lot better. And the next year I just broke through. And oh yeah, I started running on April 30th, 2016, the last dose of my MS treatment that I've taken. The last dose of Tecfidera was the first day running April 30th, last day I took treatment, last dose was May 3rd. May 2nd or 3rd, I think it was May 2nd, actually. At any rate, I just running, I was following a program to begin with for like the first year or whatever, trying to follow a program, just only running certain days a week, taking rest days and everything. And now I just keep on going, and I feel even better. It's like it just keeps perpetuating. I don't know. I haven't had an MRI of my brain since I want to say 2016 sometime. And sometime in 2016. I think it might have been 2015. But at any rate, my lesions hadn't changed up to that point, and I haven't presented any symptoms that would merit going in and getting an MRI in my brain. And it's like when the lesion changes, something, one of your abilities changes, or your thinking changes, or just you'll notice a change if something in your brain changes, obviously. And so nothing's changed, so I'm just out here, not taking treatment, I eat as clean as possible, eat as close to nature as possible. Granted, here recently I've been going by the MS Hope diet. A friend of mine with MS, Matt Embry, who was actually on my show a few months ago with his father, Dr. Ashton Embry, they, explained all about the MS Hope diet. And, I was very grateful they were on the show, because I got from Dr. Ashton Embry, he explained how eating clean affects your digestive system, your digestive tract, and how what he says, his research and everything, is what he's found is that and if it's a fact or whatever, bacteria can enter the bloodstream or enter the body through the walls of the stomach lining. And if that lining is worn down by certain foods, certain types of foods, then, or be it too much, I don't know what, I'm just throwing out hypotheses, but too much of a certain thing, like maybe too much coffee, or even though it says on the website coffee's okay with this diet, I'm just throwing out there too much hot sauce, too much, of course, too much of anything is not good, but, stay away from these certain foods. It says on the list on the MS Hope website, www.mshope.com. Stay away from the certain foods and keep with natural foods, like whole foods, clean foods. It will prevent the walls of your stomach lining, help prevent the walls of your stomach lining from eroding, and therefore prevent bacteria from entering your body through there, which is a very possible way that, a very possible way they've discovered that people can get and develop multiple sclerosis. So yeah, I'm just so I'm just following the MS Hope diet as well as possible. Like I said here recently, I've been eating like sushi rolls at work. I'm telling myself, yeah, but whatever, I don't care. I've been following the diet as well as possible, except like at work, eating sushi rolls that have maybe they have a little bit of cream cheese, which I'm supposed to be avoiding dairy. Maybe they have, a few of the crumbs sprinkled over the top, which I'm supposed to avoid gluten. It's like I've been eating a few other things with gluten, and like I've said in my social media posts, gluteny goodness or glutinous goodness, and but actually, in all actuality, I should be staying away from it if I want to experience the full benefits of eating clean. I do feel a lot better now that I'm not eating processed foods, cutting down. I've actually cut out sugar. Okay. This morning I put sugar in my coffee because I couldn't find anything else. I've been using stevia, an herbal sweetener in my coffee, and I was going just drinking black coffee there for a while, but it got boring, so I added stevia back in, so I got sweetener, and then like this morning a little bit of sugar. But I've eliminated cookies. I used to eat cookies by the package. I'd stop by a store on my way home from work, get a dinner and a package of cookies, and I'd eat my dinner and eat the whole package of cookies in one night or 2 nights, and just sit there and eat them while I was watching TV. What the hell, I'll run it off, but was my thinking. But if it can actually help me with this MS Hope diet and that whole thing, then and help my disease, then the cookies are gone, which they are and have been for months. And I'm just all about exercise and diet. That's how I control my MS. I learned that from I had heard about it, but I learned about it more from my friend Jeff, who recently passed away. He surrendered. I want to say this correctly. He surrendered to the cancer, the throat cancer that he had. He was a practitioner and big proponent of, I don't know necessarily a big proponent, but he was definitely a practitioner of natural treatment for his multiple sclerosis, and not taking any disease modifying drugs, not taking any traditional MS treatments, just controlling it through diet and exercise. He was a mountain climber. He's one of the guys that I went up to hiked up to Camp Muir with. One of the last times I was up there, I hiked up with him, and but he was treating he always treated his MS naturally, and he was treating the cancer naturally, and finally he just surrendered to it. But he did give it a fight, but I don't know. That's about all I got to say about that. Yeah, it's like I was, of course but I've always wanted to go hiking with him one more time. Maybe I'll have to plan a hike and go up there and hike up to Camp Muir in his memory. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, got off. Yeah, it's just like MS can affect us different ways. There's different treatments for MS. There's different stages of MS. Everyone has MS a little differently. Maybe granted, there's millions of people in the world that have multiple sclerosis. Maybe there's someone who has multiple sclerosis the same way I do at the same stage I'm at. But there's different circumstances, different, everything. So, it's like something's different with everyone. So, maybe those possible causes, which I read earlier, maybe those circumstances are totally different for, every individual. But that's about my, all I got on MS awareness for World MS Day. And I'm just gonna, if you've been following me for any amount of time, you know me, I'm just gonna keep on plugging along. And like I said this morning, the show must go on. Well, my life must go on, it's like, I'm still able, so, it's like this disease is just a sort of a byproduct. Yeah, and I'll got to get going here. It's getting close to that time. I'll just wrap it up by reminding everyone to stay kind, optimistic, and grateful, and have a phenomenal day and a phenomenal week. And I'll see you next Sunday here at VT Radio Universal, either on my Facebook Live or on vtradiouniversal.com at 8 a.m. Pacific. And yeah, don't miss it or miss it. Yeah, be there or be square, I guess is what they say. All right, well, ciao, and I'm out.